Hello, everybody. I'm Francesca, and I am the global head for climate solutions with SGS. SGS is a Swiss conglomerate, and I've been with the company for 13 years in November, always covering climate and environmental health and safety. All right, so as I already mentioned, SGS is a Swiss company. We are the largest testing, inspection, and certification company in the world. We operate a network of roughly 2,500 labs and business facilities across 115 countries. And today we have 999,500 full-time employees. We provide services across almost every industry, from agriculture to mining, industrial manufacturing, pharma, consumer product, you name it. What we do in reality is that we help organizations achieve highest standards of quality, compliance, and sustainability. And talking about sustainability, Impact Now for Sustainability is an initiative that we've launched in November last year, 2024, and it's a cross-business and global initiative that brings together and simplifies all of our services around four strategic pillars: the climate pillar, the nature pillar, the circularity pillar, and the ESG assurance pillar. And the goal is really to help companies accelerate transition towards more sustainable, competitive, and also internationally aligned business model. What we really want to do is to address the triple planetary crisis. So it's climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution. All right. While it's always tempting to give percentages when we answer these type of questions, I don't necessarily believe that these metrics are realistic, and sometimes they can be misleading, especially for a company like us. We operate, as I mentioned, globally, and we work in regions that are also at different stages of development. So if I give you a percentage, we may suggest that there's parity or imbalance, and it rarely reflects the truth of the engagement, but also the infrastructure or the impact that we have. So let's emphasize rather the substance of our work rather than the numbers. And I think when we look at Africa, we can't think of Africa as a monolith. It's a continent, and there's extraordinary diversity, opportunities, but also a lot of complexity. And our approach there, instead of giving you a number, is that of listening, learning, but also adapting to the local context. All right, so I think we all know, and there's consensus there, that Africa is definitely poised to play a critical role in the future of the carbon markets. And this is because it offers a high potential for mitigation, but also opportunities for climate action and innovation in particular sectors. So it's an opportunity to unlock climate finance. It's desperately needed to create jobs and ensure that all of this happens in an equity way. Just to mention a few initiatives that resonate with Africa. So we have the African Union Action Plan on the carbon markets, and this shows that there is policy momentum. That means that Africa wants to start leading rather than just be a player in the architecture of the voluntary carbon markets. Okay, I think I have one particular favorite story here, and it is a standout success story. Is our work in the Navikale biochar facility in Uganda, where we have provided and we continue to provide independent verification to ensure compliance with an approved biochar methodology. And we conduct rolling audits on a periodical basis to ensure that there's integrity and transparency. And I think this work has shown us really firsthand how biochar can be a game changer in Africa. We always hear about cook stoves, but biochar really is also one of the future sectors of incredible growth for Africa. It combines carbon removals, soil restoration, but also a lot of job creation. And let's not forget these low tech or new tech solutions in the agricultural space. So it's a clear example for us on how integrity on carbon projects can deliver real impact on the ground. Yes, you're absolutely right. The carbon markets are evolving constantly, and sometimes it's really difficult to keep up with the changes. In terms of challenges, I'd like to talk about the global challenges first of all. So carbon markets face global challenges no matter what country or what continent. So the biggest global challenge is certainly related to integrity and credibility. Several initiatives are addressing this, so I think we're on the right path. And just to mention one, there's ICVCM. Then we've got issues with transparency, potentially, because we have a lot of fragmented standards, a lot of fragmented programs and registries, and in some instances, even limited accredited third-party verification. And the third one, again, as a global challenge, is market volatility. And fluctuating demand and inconsistent prices are still there. So we need to find or strike a balance there as well, so that project developers and investors know exactly what is their return. I think that to this, then we can add some specific African challenges. And for me, the main ones are, first of all, the limited access to upfront capital for project development. The second one is perhaps a weaker institutional framework, and then potentially also insufficient technical expertise. All right, I think there's quite a few countries moving. I think I would like to start with the Carbon Markets Africa Summit host country. So let's talk about South Africa first. It has definitely been the first country taking the first step in the right direction with implementation of the Carbon Tax Act. However, and there's always a but, it's delayed, and I think we all need to ask ourselves, is it actually driving real impact? Now, I'm not going to provide an answer to this. Let's have a look at what happens in phase 2 and see whether or not it will actually be capable of driving true decarbonization. Then I think we can mention Kenya, Ghana, Tanzania, Zimbabwe also deserve to be mentioned. And Ghana in particular, as it is the most advanced today on Article 6.2 of the Paris Agreement, having already signed some bilateral agreements. Yes, we are a gold sponsor, and for us to decide which events to sponsor throughout the years and throughout our businesses, it's a process that we take very seriously. We've decided to sponsor because we believe that it is not just another conference, but it's rather a platform. And it's a platform where we see a lot of stakeholders come together, but important stakeholders. So we have government representative, we've got investors, we've got project developers, and it's the right place to get the conversation going and to exchange experiences, but also challenges. It's also, I think, uniquely positioned because it's got a perfect timing. It's just before COP30 and the G20, and it's got an ambition. So the ambition really is to be a catalyst for change. And I think Africa needs change because there are opportunities and these need to be taken. Yes, I think maybe just one closing thought. First of all is see you there. And the second one is let's get talking, because Africa carbon markets will not thrive in silence. And we need all the stakeholders to work together to make sure that Africa will be at the center of the voluntary carbon markets development. Thank you.